First of all, people don't know what they're spending, so they don't really know what their expenses are, number one. Number two, the Google is going to tell them that their expenses are going to go down in retirement.
Your expenses are magically going to go down 15%. That's
Right.
another fallacy in the industry. It's just number 102 on the list of 500 things that people are just getting wrong information in this industry about in retirement. Shocker, newsflash, when you retire, often you actually start spending a little bit more. The single biggest opportunity, financial opportunity, for a generation of savers that we will ever see in a lifetime.
Retirement for life. Your passport to a comfortable and confident retirement. The podcast that's equal parts education and entertainment, where we break down the retirement maze with a dash of fun and a heap of wisdom from your host, Christian Cyr CPA, the passionate retirement specialist and president of Cyr Financial Wealth Advisors, the independent registered investment advisor specializing in the AIM retirement system.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Cyr, your partner in retirement. Welcome to the Retirement for Life podcast show. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 biggest mistakes in retirement. I do want to say though that I am a financial advisor. We are all financial advisors in an industry that I believe is not doing a great job helping American retirees, which is why we developed the AIM retirement system. We trademarked it, the simple 3-step process that is complete, and it helps people with clarity and confidence in their retirement. But that wasn't good enough because that's just for who? Our clients. And this show, Retirement for Life, is all about sharing a lot of knowledge, passion for the topic of retirement.
Yeah.
It can be boring. We're not going to make it boring. Or at least we're going to try not to make it boring.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And this is not going to be the Google list, okay?
Yeah.
The Google list is awful. Okay, the Google list I'm going to show you, it will make you laugh. This is the real top 10. But these are truly the top 10 things from the bottom of my heart that are the biggest mistakes made in retirement. So if you find value in that, take a second. If you're watching on YouTube, what do? Just subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, because the more people watch it, the more people rate it, the more other people see it.
Yep.
So let's get started. Here's a picture. Brooke, if you want to bring that up, that lady's name is Paula Christine. Okay. I was on her podcast, Beyond the Paycheck. She's amazing. She asked me to be on the show, and I say, okay. She tells me the topic, and I just get super. Could you imagine? Like, what else would I want to talk about besides how much people make mistakes in retirement?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she asked me to be on the show, and I felt like I said 2 words and the show was over. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about it. But before we do, yesterday I had to go to the dentist, which is ironic because I always say that talking about retirement is the most boring thing in the world, just like going to the dentist.
Yeah.
So my dentist gave me a hard time for that yesterday. He's like, you're making fun of me on your podcast.
Yeah.
But I sat out in the parking lot before my appointment, and I actually had a Retire 15 call. A Retire 15 call is what? How would you describe it?
Someone just schedules time with you to talk about whatever they want.
I don't know if I really want to come in and see you. I don't really know if I want to make an appointment. I don't feel good about that. But I do have a question. Retire15.com. I'm having these calls left and right. That's what's taking my time.
Yeah.
It's great. That guy was a retired naval officer, and we talked about his retirement for about 20 minutes, which made me 5 minutes late to the dentist appointment. Okay, so let's get into this right away. I want to show you guys. So you guys know what ChatGPT is?
Yep.
And Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT. For those of you who don't know, it is artificial intelligence. It's amazing. If you're on the computer all day like we are.
Yeah.
You know who uses artificial intelligence the most in our office?
Brooke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brooke.
Yeah.
She's using it for everything. But anyway, it's amazing. So I asked ChatGPT and Gemini, according to the internet, what are the top 10 biggest mistakes in retirement? So I put down 5 of the 10, okay? Number 1, not saving enough money.
I mean, that's sort of obvious.
It's stupid.
I didn't think of that one, honestly.
That's like top 10 ways you could die, not breathing.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. Okay, this is on the internet. This is what people in retirement are getting when they are Googling, what should I not do in retirement?
Yeah.
Breathe. Carrying too much debt. Okay.
Another obvious one.
Most people, if they do come into our office with debt during retirement, it's not good. I mean, it's just kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
If you still owe money, you're probably not ready to retire. Not having an emergency fund, that is the first thing you do when you're 20 years old and you start your job. You build up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund.
Yeah.
This is not something that a 65-year-old should be concerned about because they've done it for the last 40 years, literally.
Really?
They should. If they're not, then, I mean,
Yeah.
this is like retirement for dummies. This is not the top 10 real things. Failing to update your plan, it's like failing
Assuming they have a plan.
to get right. And mismanage your investments. Okay, so this is what's in the universe. This is why we have this show, because people are getting this kind of crap about what is bad in retirement, and they're getting that. So,
Yeah.
so we're just going to go through these really fast today. We're just going to talk about each one. And Austin, I'm going to let you be the guy who gets to tell us what is the top 10 biggest retirement mistakes. So. What's number 10 on
Number
the list?
10, choosing a retirement date which is not based on your complete financial plan.
Hate this.
Yep. So,
I retired. Why did you retire? Because it's my 65th birthday.
right.
Can I bullshit? It's like saying it's a Wednesday, so I'm going to retire. There's just it doesn't matter. Just because you've reached a certain age is not a reason to retire.
Yeah.
And so what else are good examples of this?
You know, my favorite is all my friends are retired, so I'm going to be done too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they had that lady in her office the other day? She's like, why are my friends doing this?
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
what else? I mean,
Commonly, it's they just hate their job.
yep, we've had those people, haven't we?
Yep. And they're just miserable. So they just don't want to be there anymore.
Brooke, what would you say?
I remember that lady a couple of weeks ago. She came in. She just wasn't happy. She hated
was
her
in tears.
boss.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She hated her job so much. She was sad, actually.
Yeah. Which not being happy isn't good. You should be happy, but you should get a new job before
Yeah.
just quitting.
I would say
Retiring.
being happy is important,
Yeah.
but retiring probably may make you happy, but it's not the reason to do it. The number 10 thing I agree with is that we get too many people who have not put any thought into retirement or haven't put the right thought into retirement.
Yeah.
Big mistake. Austin, what's number 9 on the list?
Ignoring or underestimating the bad things. So that includes expenses, healthcare. We'll go over that here in a few minutes.
Expenses. This is another example of where Google just screws you up.
Yeah.
If you Google right now, if you're listening or watching, just take a second, hit pause, and Google what happens to my expenses in retirement.
Yeah.
Okay, you've done that. You're back. And what did you see? What did that person who just typed in that question, what did they see?
First of all, people don't know what they're spending, so they don't really know what their expenses are. Number one. Number two, the Google is going to tell them that their expenses are going to go down in retirement.
Your expenses are magically going to go down 15%. That's
Right.
another fallacy in the industry. It's just number 102 on the list of 500 things that people are just getting wrong information in this industry about in retirement. Shocker, newsflash, when you retire, often you actually start spending a little bit more.
Because they want to travel.
I'm starting to go on vacation. I'm starting to do the 18 things that I've been waiting to do for the last 40 years.
Fix up their kitchen, whatever. They always have these plans.
People are like, well, I'm not going to spend that much in retirement. You are. You are.
Yeah.
But we do know that only lasts for so long.
Yep.
Logo is like 75 to 85.
Yeah.
And your expenses truly are dropping here.
Yes, but then people don't take into account the inflation aspect.
Yeah, so people just are thinking, well, I'm not going to spend as much in retirement. And the honest truth is, if you look at a line of your budget in retirement, it is going up every single year. Every single year because of inflation.
Yeah.
Your expenses are actually dropping on average about 1.5% per year. But inflation is what? 3?
3 or more
Yeah.
sometimes.
Your expenses.
Yeah.
Austin, on that same line, not just what you're spending, but what other expenses are we talking about?
Got to
here?
think about healthcare. You're getting older too. Think about that. Also, something that goes up 5% a year. which is more than inflation. So you have to take that into account. I know we looked at yesterday a 62-year-old couple, and then we looked at years down the line how much their healthcare costs had gone up, and it was over $30,000 more.
So just think about that. We're doing a retirement plan. We love doing retirement planning. We use the number one software in the industry, the AIM retirement system. One of the things we cover is making sure you have enough for healthcare expenses.
Yeah.
People are shocked when you say $30,000 you're going to need just for healthcare alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
It's a little
crazy.
daunting.
What else,
Another
AB?
issue is longevity. People, we tell them they're going to live to age 95. Almost always they're like, there's no way I'm going to live to age 95. But actually, if you look at statistics, if you have a 65-year-old couple, one of them has 50% chance of living to age 95.
But if you are 65 years old, one of you is going to live to age 95.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're not going to be the advisor that sits there and says, "Oh, sure, you're going to die at 82. Let's plan for that."
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Right, because we don't want them coming in at 85 saying, I don't have any money.
And long-term care is the other big one.
Yeah.
There is, what's the stat here? I've got it up on the TV because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. For a 65-year-old couple, there is a 47% chance that one needs paid long-term care.
Right.
Okay. So that when we're planning for that, we have never sold or don't believe in long-term care insurance policies.
Right.
We use a hybrid method. And actually, we've been spending a lot of time on that lately.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 9, underestimating the bad stuff. Let's go to number 8. Hey everyone, did you know that the majority of us don't understand this finance retirement stuff? Do you realize that the average retiree does not have a financial advisor? I believe one of the biggest reasons why is because when we walk into that financial advisor's office or we pick up the phone and call that financial advisor, we just don't even know what to say. There are 350,000 financial advisors in the United States, and frankly, only a handful of them are really acting in your best interests and able to help you with a confident and comprehensive retirement. So how are you supposed to find out of 350,000 advisors the one that's right for you? About 12 years ago, I started working on the 5 topics to discuss with your financial advisor. It started out as a 3-page document, and today it is now up to 14 pages. It is, in my opinion, the best document in the industry, and why every retiree doesn't have this tool in their hand to discuss with a potential advisor or with their current advisor, giving the tools to know what to ask and giving you the answers of what you should be hearing back. This tool, in my opinion, is one of the best in the industry, and we give it away free. We have always given away free. The best way to get a hold of it is go to 5toask.com. That's the number 5, TOASK, the number 5, toask.com. 5toask.com. You give me your name and your email, and I will email this to you. It is by far the best tool that you need to arm yourself with the questions that you need to ask. 5toask.com and get the 5 topics to discuss with your financial advisor today.
Number 8, getting emotional in the bad times and getting too greedy when it's too good.
All right.
Yeah.
We're not going to belabor this, but Andrea,
Yeah.
you got an example.
Well, I have many examples, but one is,
Wait a second. Time out.
Yeah.
Why do you have, I want people to know who are embracing the show and taking it in, who are liking us on YouTube, subscribing to us on YouTube, who really want to hear more about you. Like, why have you gotten this a lot? Why do you know all too well about this?
I've been here for 12 years.
People are talking to you about this all the time.
I mean, yeah, anytime that the market gets shaky, people freak out. We're looking at, not just the next year, not the next 2 years. We're looking big picture.
Yeah.
But people can't help but look at what's happening right now. So, when 2022 happened, they're seeing their investments go down and they're freaking out. So what do they want to do? They want to get out.
Get me out of the market. Get me
Yeah.
out of the market. Yeah. That's a mistake. If you follow a safety approach, like we do in the AIM retirement system, you shouldn't have to worry about what the stock market is doing.
Right.
Don't get emotional. Too many people get emotional. I feel sorry for those people.
Yeah.
They have hopefully hired a professional. They can't help themselves but worry too much.
Yeah. And the same goes on the flip side of that, being too greedy. Seeing it's going to be good and going all in, whether it's on one particular stock, something that they are excited about, or whether it's just in general getting more aggressive.
When we have a client who finally gives in. It's like they're just giving up on life. It's terrible. It's like, hold on, buddy. It's going to be okay. This is not the first time we've had a volatile market. It's not the last time. It's going to happen every 5 to 10 years. And guess what? The sun will come up tomorrow. They hurt themselves by getting emotional. Austin, what we got as number 7 on the list?
Yeah, number 7, ignoring opportunities a Roth conversion can bring.
Woo. You know, we purposely have not done a Roth conversion episode yet. I think it's cool because most advisors don't talk about it. They don't have the expertise. It is an extremely technical topic. It is for people who greatly understand taxes.
Right.
But it is by far, I will stake this claim on my name that it is the single biggest opportunity, financial opportunity, for a generation of savers that we will ever see in a lifetime. Let me take that back. Maybe if you invested your entire net savings in like Apple stock in 1981 or something like that. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. And you know, Austin, what do you have to say about this?
There's really a lot of factors that play into this Roth conversion. And I know we've talked before who this really benefits. And it's mostly it benefits your kids or your beneficiaries. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good example. Do you want to expound upon that for a second?
Yeah, I mean, so people get excited about Roth conversions because they're
about Roth conversions.
They're looking at the tax savings, which there will be. They will have lower required minimum distributions. It will save on taxes, but really it's going to save the kids because they inherit that money tax-free.
That's a great point you make, Austin, because at least half of that money saved is what your kids save. We are not going to get into the details of a Roth conversion here today.
No.
But I would like this to be number 1 on the list. It's at number 7 because I think there's some other things that we should tackle.
Well, and if people wanted to kind of get an idea, they could take the AIM retirement assessment, answer 9 questions. Just go to retirementforlife.com and they could just do our quick little 9-question.
Retirementforlife.com has the single best retirement tool as far as I'm concerned. It is basically a free retirement plan. It's not going to be perfect because we're only asking you 9 questions.
Yeah.
But you can literally go into retirementforlife.com, answer 9 simple questions. Question number 1 is, how old are you? Okay. And you will get the 3 biggest things that you can do to improve your retirement. I honestly don't know why a million people a day aren't going to get their AIM retirement assessment. Maybe one day they will. But I mean, I built it and it's awesome, but whatever. That's a great point. Hey everybody, are you enjoying this video? If you are, give us a thumbs up. Do you want to stay on top of the content? Then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching. Austin, what's biggest mistake in retirement number 6?
Number 6, not incorporating a CPA into the planning process.
We said it earlier. I just can't imagine having saved up $1 million for retirement, trusting and paying somebody who is not a level 5 financial advisor.
Yeah.
Who looks you in the face when you ask him or her a text question and says, I don't know, you'll have to speak to your tax advisor.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. For me, 9 in 10 investors, they want their advisors to do tax planning, but only 75% of advisors say they're doing tax planning. And the real truth of it is that as we talked about in a level 5 advisor, and what episode was that? Episode 3.
Yes.
Okay. Go watch episode 3 because it explains the different tiers of advisors. The top tier has these complex planning tools. They are acting as a fiduciary. Yeah. They are making sure that you have a complete plan. They are not putting investments first because they know that investments are a commodity. Yeah. They are doing 20 different things for you, not just 1 or 2. But also in that top tier of advisors is they're not saying, I don't know, you have to go speak to a tax advisor. They are saying, we have CPAs here who not only know how to do tax returns, they are your tax preparer.
Yeah.
And so that's number 6. And yeah, Austin, get on to number 5.
Yeah, number 5. We talked about this last episode. Not adopting an income-first approach with mailbox money.
Income-first approach. It's just so simple. I can't say guarantee, but I wish I could. You take safety first. If I'm going to need $100 a day, then let's make sure that $85 is just guaranteed to come into my mailbox every single day.
Yep.
How am I going to get the other $15? Well, here and there. You're not going to rely on the stock market if you have an income-first approach.
Which would eliminate the nervous phone calls, right? If you have some guaranteed and you don't have to worry about it.
The day you retire, you're making $100,000 a year. Your Social Security is $40,000.
Yeah.
It's designed to cover 40% of your income. The vast majority of Americans are not taking care of that problem.
Yeah.
Hey, dummy, and we just said expenses, do they go down the day you retire?
No.
You're still spending $100,000 a year, and now your income went from $100,000 to $40,000. What do you think is going to happen? Take the tools to make that guaranteed income $80,000, $85,000, $90,000.
Right.
What else do we have to say about this?
Yeah, we saw last episode that not a lot of people are doing this. Less than 1% of these mailbox money sales are going into. Yeah.
Okay, but there's a reason. So what you're saying is that the way you put income first is what we talked about in episode 4. Using mailbox money, taking your nest egg, a portion of it, and turning it into that guaranteed income.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Mailbox money is, we talked about it, basically a certain type of annuity, a very special type of annuity.
Right.
That doesn't ever lose money. That gives you income for the rest of your life. That goes up every year with inflation. Lasts as long as you and your spouse do. I mean, that's a very special product, okay?
Yes.
Not adopting an income-first approach is a great way to fail in retirement.
Yep.
Austin, can we go on to number 4 now?
Yeah, number 4, not protecting your nest egg in the danger zone.
Okay, Andrew, you said it just a second ago. I have spent years talking about downhill planning. I believe the industry is setting up American retirees to fail. This is a great example of it. Every single commercial you see for financial company XYZ, the Super Bowl, I don't care what it is, when it comes on, it says, we're going to help you make money.
Yeah.
We've got this great way to make you feel better about earning more money. Newsflash. You don't have to make money to retire. All you have to do is save. The dangerous part of your retirement begins the day you retire, right? Retirement party. Everyone's happy. We're drinking. We're having fun. We're celebrating. We're looking at old pictures. We're laughing about the time that you fell in the parking lot when it was snowing outside, right? We should all be in tears. We should all be crying at your retirement party because you are about to enter the most dangerous part of your 35-year financial life. By the way, hundreds of people have died climbing I think it's the Himalaya mountains. Doesn't matter. When they die, it's not on the way up. It's on the way down. Retirement is the same way. You have to protect your nest egg. The danger zone is what?
5 years before you retire and 5 years after.
5 years before and 5 years after. It's just so simple. Don't lose your money in those 10 years. Most people come into the office, they're 64 years old, they're going to retire in a year, and they're investing like there's no danger zone. People, we've talked about my dad, millions of Americans, this has happened to in the past. It's like, oh, whoopsie. We talked about the target date funds. The target date funds are great until you turn about age 62 or 63. Then they don't do a job protecting you like they're supposed to.
Yep.
People they do not worry enough about the danger zone. And when we do these seminars and we used to tell people about the danger zone, they always used to come up and say, am I in the danger zone? Am I in the danger zone?
Well, and that's why we've brought up the in-service distribution as an option too.
Yep. Do your part before you retire to protect your nest egg from the danger zone. That's all I'll say about that. Austin, what's the number 3 thing on the list?
Number 3, one of your favorites, making the wrong decision about Social Security.
The average American, the most popular claiming age is 62. Andrea just told us that a 65-year-old couple has a 50% chance that one of them is going to live to age 95. Yet all these Americans are being told by their advisor to take it at age 62. Why?
Because the advisor wants to make more money.
The advisor makes more money. You're not dipping into his investments that he's charging you for.
Yeah.
You're dipping into your Social Security.
Yeah.
But that's not what leads to retirement success. The industry is setting people up to fail on this, not just the advisors. The government wants you to take your money at 62, which is why they call it early retirement,
Yeah.
right? If you actually do what you're supposed to do, which is probably take it at age 70, delayed retirement.
Yeah.
What sounds better?
Yeah. Early.
Early eligibility or delayed retirement? They're just trying to make you have the wrong decision. They want you to take your Social
Because you'll
Security.
collect less money.
People don't get it. It's so easy to talk to a client and say, oh, yeah, you want to take your money? I want to take it now. They say, well, Social Security is going to go broke. It's not going to go broke, okay? There's a lot of things that are going to happen in this world before Social Security goes broke. It's not going to happen. When we do the AIM retirement system, Social Security is one of the biggest positive impacts or detractors from a positive, successful retirement.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the only tweak we need to make is delaying taking your Social Security.
When I run into a person on the street that is not a client and we start talking, what do you do? Oh, I'm a financial advisor. I have a client, a company. Oh, I'm retired. Oh, good for you. When did you take your Social Security? I took it as soon as I started retirement. Why? I don't know. I want to say to that person, you probably just made $1 million mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating. You will see the difference between 62 and 70 can be over $1 million.
Yeah.
Which is why you need to have a fiduciary advisor who by law is doing what is best for you, and why you should go to a level 5 advisor who has a complex, complete retirement planning system that includes a full and detailed analysis of Social Security. I'm passionate about this topic.
Yeah.
We got to move on because we can keep talking about it all day long. Get your Social Security looked at before you decide when to take your Social Security, and make sure it's a fiduciary advisor who has your best interests at heart. Okay, topic number 2, go.
Yeah. So number 2, not having a complete financial plan.
I'm surprised this is not number 1. But as I just said, you run into people all the time who are retired. And we were talking about Social Security, so I'm not going to go back to Social Security. But there's other questions you ask them. I love, if I really feel like being mean and sneaky, I'll just start asking probing questions. Like, oh, you're retired. Good for you. So when do you run out of money? What do you mean? Well, I mean, I'm sure before you cut off the paycheck for the rest of your life, you did a thorough analysis to see how long your money would last. Nope.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and like having a complete plan, it's about making their money last.
Yeah.
Telling them what to do with Social Security. Are they eligible, or should they do a Roth conversion? Mailbox money, of course, which we've gone over.
Too much.
And, then people also get really nervous about long-term care. Will they need to go into a nursing home, which is also a really big factor.
Yeah, that's another thing. What are you going to do? Have you planned for long-term? No. Well, guess what? There's a 50% chance that you or your wife is going to need some sort of long-term care. It boggles my mind. People save up $1 million and don't get a complete financial plan. But the research shows a real retirement planning system, okay? 20 or more different things being tackled in a complex retirement plan. Fluid, different things impacting other things, a full picture, pulling all the pieces together. Complex financial planning is done by less than 20% of firms in the United States of America.
Right. And that's why we have the AIM retirement system.
That's why we have the AIM retirement system. Number 2, yes, you're right. Not having a complete financial plan, by far, like I said, I'm surprised it's not number 1, but I know what number 1 is. So what is it?
Let's get to number 1. Yeah.
What's number 1?
Number 1, not doing the homework on choosing the right advisor.
Right. You have to figure out who a level 5 advisor is. You just don't know. You need to educate yourself. You go to 5toask.com, right, Brooke?
Yep, we offer a free tool for this. We have had so many people download this lately. So
Getting people from all over the country downloading it. Super cool to see people from all different, what's that called?
area codes.
Area codes. I'm like, what's that area code? But people are downloading it like crazy. It's a great tool. Instant coffee is awful. I love coffee, right? But imagine that from the day you were born, all you knew was, what's the brand of instant coffee Sanka?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Whatever.
Folgers, yeah.
Folgers instant coffee. It's like awful. But if you're addicted to caffeine like I am in the morning, and the only thing you knew is instant coffee, you'd be like, hey, I need my instant coffee, right? Well, your friend relies on you to give them advice, and they say, how do you get your caffeine? Well, I drink Sanka instant coffee. And you start drinking Sanka instant coffee. It's like, it's the same way with the financial advisor. It's like the story I told about Uncle Bill. On the street, there was this financial advisor everyone used. Why did Uncle Bill use the financial advisor? Because his next door neighbor did.
Yeah.
And what happened to the financial advisor? He ended up getting in trouble, having to close his doors because he was doing things he shouldn't have been doing. The whole town or the whole block was using them because they just thought instant coffee was great. And they didn't realize that there's this amazing coffee bean roaster thing you can get and make awesome coffee.
Yeah, I'm a coffee snob, so I'm all about that.
It's a sad life. Just have instant coffee.
It's a sad life.
Yeah.
The number one thing, we talked about 10 things today. The number one thing is finding people like us who know how to handle all of this stuff. Go to 5toask.com or find a way to educate yourself, because that's the real magic. There's probably 20 things you could do wrong in your retirement. There's probably 100 things wrong you can do in your retirement. You wrote those down as you listened today, maybe, or as you watched, or maybe you didn't. Because the real secret in this industry is that if you find the right group to work with, you're not going to have to worry about the top 10 things to do.
It's true.
Okay, with that, I think we'll sign off. Brooke, thanks for another great show today. Hey, if you like this show, what can they do? Like, subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up.
I want to be a YouTube hero one day.
Yeah, we will.
How many subscribers do we have on our channel?
We just hit 200.
Wow.
New milestone.
Yep.
Yeah.
How
Yep.
about a round of applause? Can we get that?
Go
Come on,
ahead.
Brooke. Give me a lot of, yeah. Seriously?
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yep. Yep.
200. Well, I mean, we started with 126, I
Yeah, I
believe,
think
on
it was
episode
that,
1.
so, yeah.
A lot of progress being made
Mm-hmm.
on the way to 1 million. All right, everybody. We'll see you for next episode. Oh, next episode? Guest.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
All right.
Tune in.
That's a wrap. Thanks.
Investment advisory services provided by Cyr Financial, Inc., SEC registered investment advisor. All content on this podcast is for information purposes only and should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. Material presented is believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations are made by our firm as to another party's informational accuracy or completeness.